Oh, Caspar.
Oh, Caspar, just who I was hoping to see. I have a tiny little request if you have time to help me.
I'm always happy to help. What can I do for you?
That is exactly what I was hoping to hear. Would you mind coming along to my room?
Your room? Okay. This isn't what I had in mind.
Come on, a big, strong guy like you. This is easy. Lift up the cabinet, please. I need to dust behind it.
There's still more to do. Why do you care so much about keeping this place clean? It's just a dorm room.
You know, I kind of wish they didn't black that out because it kind of sounded like you... You know what? No.
I think once we're done with this room, we should clean up your room as well.
Yeah, I don't think so. I have some actual training to do.
Oh, come to think of it, I have a date myself. The fella I'm seeing has quite a charming face, rich family, and I assume a tolerable personality.
Don't you get tired of spending time with all these guys who have tolerable personalities?
Oh, it gets tedious at times. You must listen to them talk, for one thing. But it's important for my future.
That's how I see my training. I guess it's pretty much the same thing.
I don't know if that's a comparison you really want to make.
Why not? Seems about right to me. Sure, I'm a noble, but I'm also a second son. I don't have anything coming to me. Why do you think I'm always training so much? I need to prove myself on the battlefield if I plan on making it anywhere in this world. I know you don't have noble status or wealth, so you're putting in the effort to marry well, right? See? Pretty much the same thing.
I suppose. It would be nice if everyone saw it that way. Well then, Caspar, I need to get ready for my date. Shall we both agree to work hard for our futures?
Absolutely. I just hope our efforts are worth it.
Oh, boy.
That doesn't feel good at all. Ugh, why did he have to punch me so hard?
Hey, Caspar, something the matter?
Oh, hi, Hilda. Yeah, I just got in a little fight. No big deal. Definitely won.
Your face is all swollen. That looks painful. Come on, let's get you to the infirmary.
No, that's really too much. Like I said, I'm fine.
Don't argue, just come along. You look ghoulish.
Huh? Maybe it's worse than I thought. Oh, whatever. It can't hurt to have it looked at.
Why couldn't they just put a bruise on him afterwards?
There, that should do it. You'll be all right now.
Great. Thanks, Hilda. I had no idea you were so good at this.
I always tended to my big brother's wounds, so I have lots of experience. I'm curious, though. Why are you always getting into fights? You really got hurt. Surely it would have been better not to bother.
It's not like I go looking for fights, and I'm not always the one who starts them. There are just a lot of guys in this world who won't listen to reason.
Like you?
Somebody's got to beat some sense into them.
So that's why you're always picking fights. Why not ignore them, or ask someone else for help?
Maybe that's how you'd handle it, but I can't just look the other way.
How very gallant. But maybe you should try showing a little restraint.
You really think that?
Yes, I do. I don't think you can solve all your problems by throwing a few punches. The world's a big place. At this moment, all over Fodlan, countless people are in some kind of trouble. But they'll figure things out one way or another, even without you there. Try to hold back and see what happens. Maybe you'll be surprised. Besides, if you're always picking fights, you might get so badly injured that you can't protect me.
Now that's a good point right there. I could give this whole restraint thing a shot.
All right. Jesus.
Not this time.
How about this?
Too slow.
You're mine now!
I wish they...
Quite.
I mean, if they're gonna put all this time and effort into some of these supports, they should at least animate them. Especially when they're training.
Do it!
What's wrong, Caspar? Worn out already? You said you wanted to keep going until you managed to hit me.
Oh, I'm gonna hit you. Just let me catch my breath. Losing to you over and over again is exhausting.
That's because you rely on sheer power. You're moving around more than you have to, and it's a waste of energy. You need to start using your head, or you'll never even land a blow.
Well, you were taking some pretty big swings yourself, you know.
I have more experience than you. I can use my energy more efficiently.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You are the famous Thunder Catherine, after all. Wait, I just realized something. I get to train with the legendary wielder of Thunderbrand.
Why is that just occurring to you?
He's slow.
Guess it didn't really sink in until now. I'm training with someone I've always looked up to. You're a legend. Everyone knew about the power of Thunderbrand, even in the Empire.
Stop. I'm not nearly that impressive.
But you are. When I was younger, my friends and I would fight over who got to pretend to use Thunderbrand whenever we would play.
If they actually saw me fighting, I doubt that game would be very popular. I will cut down anyone, even a child, for the sake of my mission. On the battlefield, there is no Thunder Catherine. Only a bloodied soldier crawling in the mud, hacking desperately at her enemies.
Sure, but
I'm not a hero. I fight only for Lady Rhea and the Goddess. What about me is admirable, Is it my deeds? Or my blade?
Damn, Catherine, you're really making them think.
hey, Shamir. Your archery skills were amazing the other day. I couldn't believe it when you hit all those bullseyes. Not a single miss.
It was nothing.
No way, it was incredible. You were incredible. You gotta teach me how to shoot.
No.
Maybe.
That sounds like a yes to me. Are you free tomorrow?
Maybe. No promises, though.
Come on, Shamir, don't be like that. Wait, is this because you don't think I'm good enough? Oh, that can't be it.
It's nothing personal. As someone born in Dagda, I'm not very fond of the Empire.
Dagda? Where is... Oh, you mean where they had that war with the Empire a few years back? The country west of Fodlan. Across the ocean. That Dagda?
That Dagda. But that is behind us.
I had no idea. I understand why you'd hate the Empire so much, though. My father was a major general in that war. He led an entire army. If I were you, I definitely wouldn't want to train the son of someone who killed all those Dagdans.
You misunderstand. I harbor no ill will toward your generation.
Huh? Well, then what does this have to do with you teaching me how to shoot?
I simply have other commitments. I don't have the time to teach everyone, so I can't make any promises.
That's your reason? You're just too busy? I thought you hated me. I guess I had nothing to worry about. In that case, I'm excited to get to know you better. Let's leave all that Dagda and Empire stuff in the past.
Caspar, you're too slow. Okay, Oh, wow. Just Hanneman, eh?
Ah, time to relax.
No.
Professor Hanneman, do you have a moment to talk?
Of course, Miss Dorothea. Whatever is on your mind.
I heard you were once a member of the nobility, and you surrendered your title to come here.
Indeed, I was a noble once. Why are you so curious about that?
I knew there was something noble about your speech and your perfect manners. You're always impeccably dressed, too, and you have a certain pride about you. What interests me is that you threw it all away. Why?
I threw nothing away, child. In fact, by stepping away from its trappings, in my heart I feel closer than ever to the true meaning of nobility.
How so?
Consider this. At its inception, the concept of nobility assumed that the greatest among the populace would rise to power. In my mind, I believe that means those who value knowledge, those who strive for more and wish to protect and guide their fellow man. However, in practice, nobility often serves to keep those deemed commoners down, segregated from those who, by chance, were born to a noble family. That is one of the reasons I decided to leave that nonsense behind and dedicate myself to the study of crests. Though I have abandoned my position, in my mind it was to pursue what I consider to be a truly noble pursuit, that of knowledge.
I see. Well, you're definitely a noble in that sense of the word.
And yet he
You
won't
seem
let
such
me
admirable
fuse the
ideas
students.
without regard for your social position. How wonderful.
Pardon?
Oh, it's nothing. I was just very moved by your words.
Ah, well, I'm quite pleased to hear you say so.
Holy jeez.
Good morning, Lysithia. Out for a stroll, are we? It's lovely weather for it. I might go wander outside myself. I'm sure I can see some beautiful sights.
Ignatz, hold still, will you?
Sure.
Your shoes are untied. It looks sloppy. Let me just fix it for you.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. But really, I'm perfectly capable of tying them myself.
Clearly that's not the case. Otherwise, this wouldn't be an issue. Now, hush.
Put him in his place.
There we go.
Thanks.
You've also got awful bedhead.
What? But I examined myself in the mirror before leaving my quarters.
It's the back of your head. Quite unkempt. You really should get it together. I mean, really. You're born to a noble adjacent merchant family, aren't you? You really should be more presentable.
Sorry, Lysithia. You're always so perfectly put together. In fact, I'd say you're perfect in all respects. I don't think I've seen you fail at anything.
Well, consider that if I make even the slightest misstep, everyone will treat me like a child. There's nothing I hate more than that.
I see. Well, I think you're very mature. If anything, you may be overdoing it somewhat. I mean, people treat me like a child sometimes. But I like it, because it reminds me that other people care about me. You know? No matter how much we stretch, some things are always beyond us. I think it's fine to be vulnerable and ask for help sometimes.
Ignatz, are you really lecturing me about how I conduct myself right now? Unreliable scatterbrain who can only ever think about what others think of him. Perhaps
Ouch.
you should worry about your own maturity before you start questioning mine. Although you certainly look the part of a baby, so maybe that's asking too much. Anyway, I've got things to do, so I'm gonna go now.
Lysithia, wait. Hey!
Out of my way! You're such a child, I swear.
That was uncalled for. After all, I am older than she is.
Are you, though?
Marianne, do you mind if I ask you about something?
Yes?
It's about animal behavior. Among us all, you surely know the most about animals. I've read that in outdoor battles, wild animals can sometimes cause unexpected confusion. What do you think would be the best strategy to... are you listening, Marianne?
I was listening. I just don't think I can really...
For crying out loud! Why do you always have to admit defeat before even giving yourself a chance?
My advice would probably just put everyone in danger. You'd be better off without me.
This is beyond ridiculous. You're impossible.
You seem convinced you're some sort of cursed being, destined to bring doom and gloom to anyone you encounter.
Well,
Why do you have such a terrible opinion of yourself? How could you possibly be so dense?
I just...
Wow.
Just nothing. Now you listen to me for a moment. I can see that you have some deep-seated turmoil you struggle with. I'll have you know I have quite a few issues of my own, perhaps more grave than yours, if you can imagine.
Really?
Yes, but I'm not the only one who has such troubles to contend with. Everyone does. That's why it's so important to maintain a positive outlook and do what we can. Each time we find the light in the dark, we grow, bit by bit. And without growth, what's the point in carrying on?
Lysithea, I envy your confidence and strength.
Don't envy me. Instead, just choose to find the positive, won't you?
Yes. Well, maybe someday.
The time is now! This is your moment!
Oh, okay.
That's more like it. Now to start, why don't you help me out by answering my questions about wild animals?
I'll certainly try my best.
Good. Alright. Holy Jesus.
Professor Hanneman, is this a good spot for this book?
That will do nicely, Lysithea. I'm sorry to trouble you with these chores.
It's no trouble. After all, it's proper etiquette for the young to help the elderly.
The elderly? I'm only... Ugh, never mind. How have you been feeling of late? Anything worth mentioning?
I've been feeling well enough, all things considered.
You seem to be maturing remarkably.
Can we
No
start
doubt your
fusing
well-being is due to the positive
students?
influence of your twin crests working in tandem.
Here he goes with the positive again. Looks like your research is more useless than I thought.
I may ignore your assaults on my age, but I will not allow unfettered attacks upon my research. What makes you think it's lacking? Surely you do not deny your crest-related abilities exceed those of your peers. You are so far ahead of the others. Even the combined effects of the twin crests you bear do not fully account for that discrepancy.
You just can't see beyond the crest, can you? In all your research, haven't you considered that my abilities are a direct result of the effort I put in?
Of course, I am aware that you are a hardworking student, but...
My efforts far exceed those of any other student. I've placed top priority on growing as quickly as possible.
Is the ability to expend such incredible efforts, to be so focused and driven, is that not a form of talent?
It has nothing to do with talent. It's a question of sheer will. I'm determined to succeed, no matter the sacrifice.
I see, but what drives you to such lengths?
I have goals, just like anyone, and precious little time in which to achieve them.
Little time?
Oops.
The people who made me as I am informed me that my life would be drastically shortened as a result. A person bearing two crests against the will of nature itself. Well, clearly it can't be sustainable. As such, I don't indulge in the luxury of fantasizing about the future. I haven't got one. Knowing all this now, will you still claim that my crests are something positive?
I cannot. Please understand. I had no idea.
Oh, Hanneman.
I'll be leaving now.
Lysithea. So that is why you are...
Holy support chain hell.
Lysithea, do you have a moment?
I do. What do you need to speak with me about?
I was thinking about the time we talked about our crests bringing bad weather.
Yes. we never did get to test that theory since I haven't found any sun-bringing folks.
Joking aside, each crest is unique in how it impacts the bearer's life. I've seen more than my share of crest bearers, after all. Some of them bore crests of Karen like us, some even bore crests of Gloucester.
Certainly, but I don't see your point.
I'm not a crest scholar. I don't know all the details. I have a knack for guessing a person's crest just by looking at them. Forgive me, but do you have 2 crests?
Well?
You don't have to tell me. I mean, it shouldn't even be possible to bear 2 crests. So if you do have 2, you must be sitting on some major secrets.
It's nice to know that someone understands.
Of course. Everyone has things they would rather not talk about. For all you know, Catherine's not my real name. Maybe I'm an outlaw on the run from my homeland.
That can't be true, can it? Stop messing with me.
I was kidding, though who knows? Maybe there is some truth in it. My point is, no matter what secrets we're keeping, I'm still me, and you're still you.
All right, Elam
Worry a little
Garrick.
about you. You never seem to let your guard down around other people. That can't be easy. You know, it's important for you to relax once in a while.
I don't even know the meaning of the word.
That's easy. Just gab with your friends about something pointless, and the stress will fade away. I'm always happy to chat, if you're interested.
Well, thank you. Why are you being so kind to me anyway?
I just feel a certain kinship with you. We both have crests of Karen, and we both have...
Found who actually seems to understand me.
Good. You can feel comfortable with me. Since we have the same crest, we're basically sisters.
Aw, I really like that. Someone as wonderful as you is my big sister?
Well, don't you just say the cutest things. That's my little sister for you.
Alrighty. Holy jeez.
Hey, Cyril! Cyril? What is he staring at? I see. Hey! What are you looking at there? Anything interesting? Let me have a look. 3 apples, 2 bags of ointment, 1 piece of graphite. Intriguing. Some sort of code, perhaps?
Nah, I was just asked to go out and buy the stuff on this list.
Oh, that's all? Sorry for interrupting in that case. This is kind of a one-person job, so I won't bother you by offering aid.
Well, you actually helped a lot just now, reading that list for me like you did. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't tell anybody, because I've been trying to keep it a secret, but I don't know how to read, so I wasn't sure what to do with the list.
Is that so? But why do you keep it a secret?
I'd hate it if people figured I wasn't up to a job just because I couldn't read.
You're always welcome to call on me for help. I'd be happy to.
Thanks, I will.
I really mean that. Anything you need.
Okay.
Good. Now, you'd better go get those supplies before it gets dark. Do you remember everything on the list? Need me to read it one more time for you?
That would be pretty helpful, actually.
All right, listen up. I'm not gonna do this a 3rd time.
Wow.
Lysithia's not a good liar, is she? She knew I was in trouble right away. Hang on. Did she just want to act like a big sister again? But she looked real happy when she was helping me. And I think I'd like to see that smile again sometime.